right, we're locked in. And man, I tell you what, this is like a rolling bear or bull market in reverse. You every time buyers are given the opportunity, sellers say no. Kind of diabolical. It was literally like I flipped my chart upside down today, and I was like, "That's actually pretty wild." The strength is on the sell side. Super duper still. Damn. Since Bonnie give us the files, yeah, yeah. Since we're not at 50K, yeah, we should see the files for sure. Right. I'd like to see a reversal here as we approach the end of the day. Looking at the lower time frame, we have yet to recover anything remotely close to that. Even down here on the lower time frames, seeing how we're responding to every single floor that we are presented, and it is typically refused over 562.77. That could change, but momentum has definitely bled out of the market. This is 3 hourly candles too. There we go. Bam, just like that. Let that runner run. I'm in a long. That's right. All right. No, don't be sorry, man. On average, how many trades do I take? Uh, damn, this is working out pretty good. Daily, maybe like two or three. All right. How long do I think? Oh, we'll talk about that in just a second. But how long do I think this bear market's gonna last? It's gonna be a long time. I mean, like, I'm talking about like seeing a recovery of this floor on the ET, that right there. I, again, I think that's going to be a while. But let's go ahead and talk about it while we get into the end of the day. I got a little long trade on NQ back up to the 23,347 level. Already up pretty fat on that one. All right. Now, so obviously we have officially broken down. Yesterday we saw that candle close on the Qs right at that floor, and of course, a little bounce in after hours, but none of the headlines that are being presented to us are holding up, and so price has moved down. Now this is going to be interesting going into the weekend. Yeah. Well, I wanted to talk about that too as well, but yeah, going into the weekend, this is obviously a little bit outside of what I usually do, but I am thinking that we are going to move in the same manner as one would move in a cup and handle, right? So cup, right, handle, and this is technically based off of, structure. It's not just my so that being said, and we know how they've been moving markets overnight, I think 558 on the Qs is probably, not probably, more than likely going to be the next major leg down, followed by perhaps, again, that 551 close to 550, which would be a very major psychological target and could likely throw us in. I do not know if we get more than one more day of downside. My typical thing here on actual break of structure is three candles, typically in a row, right? And that's consecutive moves or consecutive days. It's these big ones. That's typically three. And so as we approach that 559 area, um, I am. Damn, I think the Qs aren't gonna make it. I'm gonna pull back right here. I got out. Yeah, let that fall down. So obviously, we can acknowledge the evidence, or rather the chart on this one. Um, and you have to make a decision on whether you want to stay, whether you're in shorts or you're looking for that next leg down. 559, that might not be worth swinging. Now I do want to say something, in regards to those of you guys who have been, because I'm about to start. I'm not doing one-on-ones, but I was thinking about this all day because I asked, I think about 2 months ago, for everybody to create a trade tracking app, and I told people once they did that that they could send that info to me. And unfortunately, not a single person has taken advantage of that. Not even one. And a lot of you guys who are struggling, right? I'm seeing your P&L as you're starting to like not want to do it anymore, or you're running yourself into a hole that you can't dig yourself out of. Um, because these conditions that we are in, that are you've been in a bull market now for, basically since Trump and before. um and we just went through one of the longest areas of sideways consolidation times two, and of course people's P&L is reflecting that, especially those of you who are suckered to the ETFs. So um and obviously this is outside of the chart, but I just want to, and I might even just start something separate where, it's a separate option where you can, send your charts, but I'm going to make sure that it happens because, like I said, having a trade tracking app and being able to look back and reflect on what you've done or what's working, what's not working in a trending market. Swing trading is my friend. In a rangy weekly range, swing trading is not my friend. I do not have the same edge I do on a regular basis, and especially looking at a couple of people's, reflective P&L, not what I needed to see uh, before it happened. Um, but anyway, I'll leave it. I'll leave it at that. Oh shit! Did I just? Oh well. There's trades. Honestly, man, because I don't use them, there's probably even more. I would do your research, maybe use ChatGPT or something, and um, but at this point, hell yeah, Sanchez, yeah. I think I saw somebody just get the workshop a little bit ago. Um, but anyway, that being said, yeah, do your own research in terms of trade tracking app. I personally, if anybody in here has a recommendation, I've there's I'm forgetting the names right now. I'm a little brain dead, but there's like three or four reputable ones, and what I'll do is, oh wait, oh, did voice chat crash? Oh, um, TradeViz I think is another one. Yeah, but anyway, I would do your research on that, and then I'll also pull up my list of, I can't think of them off the top of my head for some reason. I'm just, my brain's fried. But yeah, so I mean, I I don't know if I need to, and I know some of you guys, bro, didn't see, bro, just spoke with you. Oh, got you. Stonk Journal, I think that's a free one. I'm not sure how well that tracks, but if you guys are struggling, and I've gotten, especially with the sideways action we've seen on the ETFs, that's something that, again, I offered this probably a month or so, or a couple weeks ago. I think, I can't remember, but um, if you're trying to make that next step forward, you should probably reach out. All right, I'll leave it at that. I got a lot more I could say on that right now, but we'll talk about it later. So, all right, kind of hard to talk while you're multitasking. No, um, yeah, just shoot me a DM. If you end up getting the trade tracking app, then you can set it up that way. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'll probably make and if you're in the Discord, obviously I'll just look at it. If you send it to me, I'll look at it. I'll look at it. But if you want to have like it's not a one-on-one. Okay, it's gonna be me pointing you, making assertions based on the data that you're presenting me. But I'm thinking about making it an option where you get 45 minutes or an hour and we just go over, because I'm not doing one-on-ones consecutively over and over again. I don't have the time for that. But I'll give you guys more information. I'm just trying to see what I can do to help people kind of see what they're doing more clearly. Bro, inverse the chart had me so confused. Yeah, my chart's upside down. You lost access to the Discord. You need to DM Ivy or Alex. Good God, dude. This price action has been a blast today. It really has. All right, so again, as we look down, I still see that 559.16 futures traders. If we end up making it there tonight, I would expect for Trump, which I think he has he's going to be talking about some shit. But I would be keeping your eyes out for that to be. I'm gonna here. Let me just put it this way. I'm gonna bounce the Qs or NQ when it gets to 558, 559 area. So just throwing that out there. I had a good morning trading. Yeah, today was great. If you're on TikTok, be sure to tap your screen. All right. So I think and one last thing I'm going to say on the Qs especially, I have accomplished most of my short-term goal to the downside, right? This is what I've been waiting for. And now at this point, with a major target so close, and we know again, if you were to gap down there with futures, it's going to be hard for you to get out. So down, I could even see price possibly gapping down to that and then popping back up future wise and being right around the same open. But we will see. Houthis in Yemen officially announced entry into the conflict in the Middle East. Okay. Dude, I don't know if this Sam dude from who keeps emailing me is watching me on TikTok, but dude, I do not want to work with you. What is wrong with you, bro? That's the fifth or sixth email you've sent me. I don't want ads. Fuck. I guess persistence is key for those fuckers.
Yeah, bro, you said you see the bounce on the Qs at 558, 559.
Yeah, it's basically kind of like 559, and I'm not being exactly super crisp. Yeah, so let's look at it basically like that.
Like at the bottom.
It's the psychological number of 560. You know what I mean? And by the way, there's a gap at 552. So I mean, for longer expiration contracts, if you're long, but yes, after every big leg down, when do we not see a retest? Unless like shit really hits the fan, but that's not on the chart necessarily. So thank you for giving me the knowledge and courage to jump into options. Very good, man. Very good. Take profit, please.
The swing contracts are jacked, man. Holy crap.
Gonna say you might. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons that I'm probably, if you don't have a position, I have some IWMs for next week that I'm gonna go ahead and hold over the weekend, but price has gotten jacked up because we are moving to the downside. So would I swing puts into next week? Not with next week's contracts. I don't want to keep you guys from doing anything, but we're so close to my target. Again, trying to pretend like price is going to flush through that, you know, eh, maybe it does, but I'm going to stick with my rules, which risk to reward on this one is decreased greatly. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if price moved down even a little bit in after hours. By the way, did anybody was I don't know if I should even ask. Did anybody hold on to either a Tesla or which did almost bang right off of that 50 or UNH? UNH ended up hitting 256. It has bounced since then, but dang, those of you guys on TikTok, you trade during afternoons? Yeah, yeah. I mean, if there's a setup, for sure. No, yeah, yeah. There's been today has been the shit. Yeah. All right. Now, so before I move on, IWM. Now, I am going to continue to swing short on this one. I do believe that there is a stronger target of 235, and that's long term. But we are below here, which is that 244.93, which is pretty imperative. And then we're sitting right here at 242. I'm aiming for 238.90 to the downside with a pit stop around 242.12. Obviously, on this one, it has not fallen to the degree. There's always one that's lagging, and it's kind of a nice thing because, but anyway, I'm looking for 242 next week to break to give me that next 238 leg to the downside. Now, this one, of course, filled up most of its empty space, but still has good volume and good levels to hit. 236, obviously, being one of those as well. But due to the fact I am well in profit with these contracts, I am going to go ahead and hang on to these fuckers and see what I can get out of them. It's risk free, cheap. So, ready to dive into the workshop? Please write down all your questions as you're going through it. Por favor. Hey, 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 hey. What happened? Oh, I left an order up there. Hey, it's working. Nice job, past me. Look at me in the past. Not bad. You said 235 and 252. Oh, you're looking at the option. Okay, I got you. I mean, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad sign from me. Yeah, 235 would be a great structural level as well. 235.82. So, all right, now SPY. The fuck are we listening to? Nice, nice. All right, sorry about that. All right, now the S&P obviously. Wow. I mean, great rounded top, right? If you're a little pattern head out there. Um, as far as the weekly or the 24 hours concerned, one of the levels that we wanted to see lost and secured was that 653. We obviously are fucking well below that. And then looking at the most recent price action to our left, which is going back until to September of last year. This is where we're currently sitting, right on that floor, that wick of 234. And of course, that brings me to a irregular area of consolidation, which would give me a target of 630 psychological to the downside. Now, I think with these ones spilling their guts as much as they have, like the Qs, the target is not that far away and most likely would result in price bouncing back up and starting to retest certain levels, maybe in a dead cat kind of way. So you decide whether or not that's worth it for you. The next target, if we can see a break through that 630 mark, will be a target of 622. But I do think that if that is the case, folks, and this is where I lay down the next strong area of analysis, 613. And if we're flushing that, shit has really, really, really hit the fan. And we'll be taking a trip down to 605. But that's still a long ways away. So do not feel FOMO or do some stupid shit because you feel like you missed out or whatever the case may be. Lock in, reset, and be ready for next week. No matter where we open, there will be opportunities. There is money in the market. Obviously, we're trending now for the first, leg down out of consolidation, major leg continuation leg down. So like a bull market, we are trending. So be patient. We'll be making more. What is a dead cat? It's when you put a stock in a box. And according to quantum theory, if you don't look at the stock and cat in the box, it doesn't exist. You said dead cat at exactly at the time I was texting a friend about her cat that died. Oh damn. Masad, will you shut her text down? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Rest in peace to your friend's cat though. That's super sad. MT5 trader, if you were really good, you wouldn't be here doing this, bro. You are terrible at what you do. You know this. You know this. That's why you're here doing this. It's never gonna work this way, bro. You might as well just start, I don't know. Do something else, bro. Uber Eats.
Diabolical W didn't even recommend DoorDash, which is your, preferred.
I just don't want. I don't want it. I don't want to increase the probability of this dork delivering me my food. So, dude, I'll hit up. I'll hit him up, dude. Mysterious Marco. I've had a couple people who are like not famous, but like they have millions and millions of followers. I got 112 people in my channel from this. 112. That's it. From begging. Yeah, I was gonna say they gotta be a ton of bots, bro. Anyway, um, you're never gonna make it trading, brother, but good luck in something else. You're scamming people. All right, anyway, I just gotta make them feel it. They're gonna feel it. The Q's about to pop up here. They sure look like it. Look like a pop up there. All right. Anyway, um, yes, I am. I am holding shorts over the weekend. Just on IWM. IWM is one of the only stocks that hasn't done its thing. There's the first pop on the Qs. Reduce my risk there. All right. So SPY, QQQ, QQQ obviously taking the biggest dumper. And then I just want to talk about this one. All right. And I'm not going to go through a huge long winded story on what I'm about to do here. I'm just going to keep it fucking extremely simple because what I'm going to do on this is likely going to be pretty high risk. And I'm actually rethinking it as I say this, but I am looking at possibly tonight or Monday, looking at taking a longer expiration strike of 145 to the downside on Nvidia, more than likely 3 to 4 months out. After specifically after we get a retest and failure of the 170 floor, I would, or we fail to control a bounce either at 165 or 164. Um, you got balls of steel if you're holding options over the weekend. News can go either way. I can make this work for me. I can make it work that as long as we move, I'll be okay. As long as we move, we'll be okay. Also, everything that I'm holding over the weekend is only me holding on to positions that I've already made profit off of. So I had IWM shorts, and I'm going to hang on to those going into the weekend. So, can you trade Nvidia on futures? Not that I know of. What's up? We did.
Already, the 24-hour level, if it closes off that level, reminds me of we saw that it's down. So I like the fact that it's indicated with both go down. But I'm just curious as to why I mean, I know it's the weekend at one time, so it's other. But this was like Wednesday, we have closed on a 24-hour. So that would have been perfect for down.
If we had closed on the 24-hour floor, not yeah, it's not a clear enough floor for me to actually go short off of that. The only clear floor that I have, right? Because I need clear points of contact, and the only thing I see is 166.88, which I just don't see as a being. So this is going to be a little bit tougher, where I'm more or less just trying to grab myself as possible, just there you go. I can't take it now because we have too much empty space and areas to fill potentially back up above us. And the distance and journey of this is, but yeah, I just wasn't able to catch it today, I guess. So
That has done for a very, very long time. So breaking this level would also be very significant because wouldn't get too much of support in terms of being able to push it back up because every time it's hit this 166, 164-ish level in the past, they have bounced. But then break these levels now, and with the market being the way it is, that would be another reason why being bearish.
yes, of course. And after major legs where things are broken, you might typically what happens is you'll see that next leg down a lot of the times overnight, and then they'll pop it up, right? You'll retest either, imbalances, whatever. And then that's when you get the build, right? You get like kind of a build up in here. And that's where I start to look at taking positions while it's rejecting, because then I can set my stop loss on that floor, meaning floor gets recovered, price goes up, and that means I know when to get out. Versus taking it now and then getting fucking blown out of the water. You know what I mean? So, and you have a terrible average that's inflated. So, mm-hmm. Not letting me do it. Why are you not letting me do it? I think the NQ is about to pop down here. If I miss this, I'm gonna fucking lose it. What are we doing here? I think I see a bounce coming right now. Should just lay down, please. Do I think this bear market will, as long as Trump is in office, this will be a relatively difficult bounce here. Let's see if you bounce or flush it. Nope. Floor. I thought I spotted an uptrend. All right. You think we invade Iran? Yes, I do. The goy's got to do what the goy's got to do. New lows on the QQQ and NQ. We might start making that journey. And one of the things that I want you guys to take a look at here, you flip this upside down, and everything is building in the exact same way that price would normally build if you were in a bull market. Literally. I mean, right now you can see this channel like that. Right? Same thing we do when we're looking at an uptrend. So it's pretty interesting to see here. Watch this low get dipped. Let's see if it can hold the low here, then you're looking at a new low. But otherwise, this is one of those candles that if they shrink it back up, they'll flip it. And there's a futures trade. Those of you guys trading futures, watch this break over 5. Again, I'm looking at the Qs, but it's 563.64 up to that equivalent 565. So he's putting his signature on currency. On what? On American currency? Fucking A, dude.
Hey, Jerry, I just joined, but there's nothing really clear, huh?
Well, if you're not holding runners, it's going to be difficult for you to possibly sneak in here. I'm about to take a quick gander. I do like IWM, but Tesla has not lost this floor at a 259, which knowing Tesla, there's a possibility, like we talked about this morning, that we could range out in here. But that being said, not a ton, right? Because UNH, that one legged down for us and hit major structure. Well, not yet. Pretty close. But and that's the one shitty thing too, is that UC price is almost hovering above the major levels. So it's like it takes away that edge for swinging. So but we'll see.
Stood out to me that's clear and simple.
Tesla hurt you? What if Astro, what if it was more like you hurt yourself with a Tesla, you know? Same thing, but different. Yeah. 587% was the TP on UNH, which was, yeah, a lot. All right, let's do a quick scan. And I mean a quick scan. We're looking for things that have not fallen or perhaps have reached 24-hour levels. That's what we're looking for. So if it's not that, we're moving on. My own money. That, yeah, that's actually pretty fucked. Well, no shit. Huh? That's fucking cool. Oil, yeah. I haven't really done any much fertilizer though. Yeah. The only thing that okay, so here's where the channel gets deceptive, right? Because you see that the channel is bounced, but what's important is that it fucking responds. Now, the floor is looks like pretty much right around here, but also here, which there's more points of contact off of that 346. You have had a pretty considerable amount of dumpage in order to get here as well, and the slowdown has begun. But there is a gap underneath you, so how does this happen? I mean, even if you were to hover here at 344.89 or come off of this as a rejection, I mean, you could play around with it there. But I mean, yeah, it it does look bearish. I maybe quick wick like that, but other than that, I mean, yeah, you got nothing but net underneath you to 336, and I mean, if you got brass ones, you could be looking at 320. I can't see the Discord anymore. Really? What happened? Did did your monthly go away or something? We don't have reoccurring subscriptions, by the way. Like at least we try to make sure that that doesn't happen. So like all of the subs that we have, I cancel them as soon as the people join. So that might be it. But Discord has also been acting crazy. So SPY going straight down. I am watching right now on the left side. Yes, it is getting closer and closer to that target as we get towards the end of the day. Qs are not too far behind. Yeah, sitting very, very, very fucking close to my target here.
We're getting close to COVID level. What do you mean?
Maybe take a speculative bounce off of this. COVID levels. Hold on. I don't think so. Wasn't that yet? Yeah, no, dude. We're nowhere close. Yeah, nowhere close. Nowhere close. Yeah, yeah. No, COVID levels would be something would be so wrong, dude. Like it would be the worst. My next target on the queues is here. That's 540. Now, again, if you look at this like a normal, like, again, I hate using the word cup and handle, but a lot of the times you're going to do this and then you're going to fucking make that next trip down. And it's, kind of a perfect setup for it. But yeah. All right. Let's keep it moving here. We got oof, shit. Let's see if we can find anything else here. Unity software. Yeah. Wow. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. Okay. So, I mean, you got a great bounce. Yeah, good bounce. And then today you tried, but the market's weighing you down too damn much. So it's pretty difficult to get up. You are holding, so I would assume because you are inside of a box that you're going to have at minimum sideways action. But it does look good on this one hour time frame. Punch there and hit here. Okay, I don't like that. That's weird. You just said that you were texting somebody about their cat passing away. I have two notifications. I can't make this shit up, dude. This is wild. I got a Nextdoor app alert that says basically it's summarized by, but it's like burial of cat in backyard. Like this person's talking about they found a cat and they were trying to figure out if it was somebody's, and then um somebody just posted lost cat on Reddit in the Savannah subreddit. What the fuck? Is it a sign?
It's in the house.
Oh, dude, he's been outside of the house. Dude, I can't even look at him, bro. I'm trying not to be mad at him. I know he's a cat. It's not his fault, but I'm like, dude, I can't even fucking look at you. He just won't stop. Yeah, cute. It's also been like this for 3 years. We've been trying to get him to stop over grooming, and we've gotten him anxiety medication, and he's just a handful, man.
Do you have a Chinatown there?
Shut up. All right. Let's see here. That's got to be racist. Um, Unity software floor. Yeah, I mean, it's moving. It's moving. All right, let's see here. Yeah, it's got the floor right now. I'd be looking at that 1950. All right, let's see here. Been watching Kava down. All right, I'm zooming here. That one, dude, holy shit, that was awesome. You got a good sweet punch down below the box, and today you hit that structure. That's beautiful. Although I can't promise for anything else because typically when you bounce, that's when I'm done. Yeah, I do see 72.66 for a second target. We just talked about this, I think, the other day as well. Yeah. By the way, next week, just keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to be posting about a class. We got to go over stop losses. I have a couple people who said that yesterday it went long. Not just you, Astro. Okay, you didn't DM me, so but a couple of people who went long on Tesla and just let it all all day, just fall. And I get it if I was 7 years ago, but now do not. So we gotta make sure that everybody has a freaking plan before they get into a trade. And if you can't make one, then you shouldn't be in it. So SPY going to $500 soon. I mean, that has been the thesis, right? Short market. All right. Olin Corporation. Are they inverse market? Seems like it. Um, you're not too far away from the next overhead target, which I have at 30.80. You're doing a great job. You do have an inside today, an inside candle. So obviously getting a candle outside of this range, 29.20, or a lot of the times if you can't get it up, you're gonna have to go back to the gas station and get a honey pack so you can keep ripping. Thank you. Datadog up. Eh? I don't know about bouncing text shit, man, while we're dumping like this, bro. Um, I'm gonna, again, I can't tell you what to do. I can't give you financial advice. But I for damn sure am not trying to long anything at the moment. Whether that's investment or until I obviously see things that we're losing getting reclaimed, and I see you below the 50% mark on this one. I do see a 4 hour, I mean, maybe range like touchdown right here at 1150. So if you're looking at it maybe on uh, a like a lower time frame retest, that could be a real thing over 116.50, popping into that empty space 121. But I still see a pocket down here at 107.60. So curious, what happens to stop loss in a flash crash? Does it execute near the bottom of the crash? What happens? Like a trailing, like a automatic stop loss, or like my stop losses that I personally use. Oof. Let's see. Okay, lots of heavy weight up there, so that's good. Okay, now it is going to be absolutely true that so this would be a heavy accumulation, right? Or a heavy bottom, big bottom. So what would that make that, right? A heavy top. A top that goes and starts when you're given the opportunity to go higher, you consolidate and you pull back. That's what I would consider. Now, the only thing that creeps me out a little bit about this chart is how empty that is. And that's a little spooky. Now, the chart is also a little bit it's really dope. I like the chart in some sense. Okay, so there's that. So you're sitting at cost basis right now. You have 230, 238.74 to lose. So I think if the expiration is good, 257 as a hard line, no brainer stop loss. As long as that fits with your risk to reward, you could probably make 254 a good stop loss above that red candle right here. But yes, you are sitting on cost basis again. As we got 5 minutes left in the day. You're sitting right here. Does this thing gap around a lot? It
Just checking the thing. So that it got included in the S&P 500, and it's also one of those companies that is into that brings all of these data centers and sorts of things.
where ex- where exactly are you at? Yeah, you. Where are you? Do you have a fan, wind tunnel, or
So then, well,
oh, I was gonna say that shit's about to take off, dude. Is it?
that's a
Oh, it's hovering right now. He's skydiving. That'd be sick if somebody was. No way. Are we sitting right there on the cues? Yeah, look at that. Still holding itself up. That's the OG PS4 when it gets hot. My PC when I play Battlefield on with all the graphics up at the top, dude, that thing it like heats my room up. Like my room like individually will be 75 degrees. All right, guys. Oh, go ahead. Oh, oh it just, damn. Damn. Just giving it away like that. Oh my god. That's fucking a red candle closed at the bottom with an immediate target underneath you right here. $10. So a 30-cent move to the downside is what I see going into next week. Weekly, if you're brave, you could aim for the floor. That's heavy. That's wild. Damn, dude, this is wild shit. Airlines just, they're almost a pump and dump scheme, dude. They just pump and dump. Am I just realizing this now? I just don't look at it, I guess, high enough. They just pump and dump airlines. Tell me I'm wrong. Everything about this thing is just pump and dump. Oh my god, it's a massive pump and dump. Look at oh my god. Hmm, yeah, I don't know if I've ever really looked at it that wide. I never really look back at airlines like that. So there's that bounce I was talking about on the cues. We're seeing that bounce now as we get to the end of the day. Little bounce here. Yeah, American burned me in my room. But I mean, I'm not lying. I, I'm actually like, yeah, I'm having a moment right now. I've never seen anything like this. So, we'll look back at that in a second. But yeah, I could see that down there. I mean, you could make a lot of money off of something like that. You could strategically play that. If you know that whatever move that you just took, right, fills up, and that's one thing that I'm looking at here is you can actually go back, and this is something maybe for small accounts. Look at this. This is my theory on Kriak, right? Look at that. Empty space, structure, tap it, die. Here you fill up that empty space, but you punch back through the box. Then you fill up that empty space. Okay. That empty space right there. That's tremendous. Am I still in lift? Nah, man, I got out. I got out of all of my lift. I didn't like how it was moving around the 1250s, so just kept kind of grinding back up. It could be a great trade back down, but it decided to go for its retest immediately. So Yeah, ding, ding, ding. All right, anything else to see here? So this Sunday, again, we just saw the big move. So a lot of the time, sector by sector, I think small caps might be next. Um, but sector by sector, so if you missed something falling today and the cues end up, staying kind of at this floor momentarily, you could look elsewhere. Damn, ANF. Yo, ANF off of the 50% mark here of that range. I don't know when the last time it is that I looked at this. Feels like it was recently. I don't like that. I like that. That's the one. And we stretch it, bless it, and then we box it. That's a hot dog water area of consolidation. So leave it like that. Okay, so you're refusing the floor right there at 92. If you keep doing that and you stay heavy, you can see we're drawing volume off of 86, $87 here, which I guess you could go ahead and just drop that fucker right there. So underneath 86.71, no go. But if you can get above 92.35, maybe. I would say you're being pushed more in the direction to fall further, where you could see a $70 target. So it's not bad. Mm-hmm. Oh no. I don't really understand how that happened. Okay. Okay, it's 4:02. I gotta get to the motherfucking post office here immediately before I get sued by eBay. Yo, by the way, cards do sell. I don't know who the fuck is buying Pokemon cards right now, but I'm dumping my whole position. And yeah, they're going. I've had some couple people I know buy them, but let's see here. Car down. What the fuck? When did this happen? When did this happen? Car squeezed. You got to lose the floor first, Chief. There, 145. Be strategic. Oh, look at that. That's fucking money right there, dude. There and there, 134.75. SMCI calls. That's not bad. That's bad. That's not bad. I like that too on the 2 hour. Lower time frame, higher time frame looks a little bad, but no structure or Potter box there. But speaking of Pokemon, damn, dude, Pokemon Center. Lord have mercy, Relight. Oh shit, you're part of the Poke Alerts Discord. Damn, dude, you're a Poke Master. Yeah. Can you chart the Pokemon market for me? You have to give me a specific. Oh, they got charts. I got this card. Oh, we don't have any data here, brother. We don't have enough fluctuations. There you go. A little retest. That's wild. All right. I got to get going, guys. I got a lot to do. Ellie's birthday party is happening, but if you guys have any questions or you just joined or if you do end up joining, some of you guys out there in the free Discord that have let me know you're going to be joining today, please make sure to shoot me a DM. Let me know what you're talking about. Do I have a Pokemon sector section in my Discord? Nah, I don't. I don't. Nah, I don't.
It's Ellie's birthday.
Yeah, yeah, it's Ellie's birthday today. Or no, it's sorry, I'm tripping balls. Yesterday was her birthday, tomorrow's her birthday party. I'm in the middle of those two. So it's all three of these days are her birthday, so
Ellie.
thank you, brother. I appreciate that. PBS Pokemon strat. Yeah. Yo, that's hilarious. Oh, I absolutely toasted DJ in the other Discord, bro. Oh my god, I just let him have it. I couldn't take it anymore.
Saw that. What did I'll ask you later.
I mean, I don't give a shit. Obviously, I don't want anybody else in here to do it, but I don't mind shit talking or poking back and forth. But if you know you're about to get in an argument with somebody in here, just stop. Just stop. Like if you have different political opinions and you think it's gonna end up nasty, like if you guys are going, if don't be overly sensitive. But at the same time, he was just I mean, I'll tell you what I told him. I was like, dude, you've had 7 years, 8 years, and you watched almost all your friends on Discord make it, and all you did was bitch, moan, and cry about how you couldn't figure it out. And like we sat there and we used to like me and Manny would like debate. We'd be like, bro, should we even like keep helping him? And at some point we just like gave up because like he just has the fucking worst attitude. And not to be mean to anybody out there, but if you're a negative person, like you just really fucking you're a you know pissant, like you're probably gonna suck at this. Like no doubt about it. Like if it's just a mentality that like people, it's almost like you're got to be a victim. I will leak your address. That's too funny. Um, but he was talking.
This was like his third time like getting into it with me.
Yeah,
But
yeah, he's gotten into it, and he just he thinks because he knows me and we've known him for a long time. I have not. I have Manny is the only reason that I've continued to be nice to him, um, because he didn't do anything overly wrong, but like he's one of those people who are like I say that I'm not cool with kids being blown up in wars. And he's that kind of person who would be like, well, it just happens in war. Civilians die in every war. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck, excuse my language, but like, shut up. Like you're a contrarian. He hates everything. He hates on everything. And he shit talks all the time and he sucks at trading. So I was like, what is he doing in here? And so I kicked him out. Can I have his membership? He's been in here since day one. Before, he's got it. Well, I guess not day one, but he didn't have a membership. He was here before there was memberships. And he did at some point, like try to contribute, not stock wise. But yeah, I just
he contributed to the Zebo hype.
yeah, it was so funny, dude. He I almost don't want to tell you, but like when it comes to people like this, dude, I just yeah, like okay, so let me explain it this way. And sorry if you guys are listening and you're looking for stock shit, but like um he said I chilled on Z dude, and then he said nah, because if I would he said I would have got kicked out of the chat if I had no true filter. And I think that people who think that their ability to be abrasive is a weapon is only something that they've created in their mind. That's the kind of people who are like imagining beating people up on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Like it's all in their head. And so like in order because he's on the internet, he can project this outwardly, I don't give a fuck, I'm a badass. Dude, you're a 5'6" Dominican chubby guy who fishes and says the N-word. Sorry, you also have the worst attitude in the world. You hate everything and everybody. You know, you listen to and nothing against people who listen to Slipknot and stuff like that, but like that's all his whole genre is hate, anger, and frustration. And it's like, yeah, that kind of individual. I don't like. Yeah, I like to shit talk and I know how to roast somebody, I guess, if you will. But like, I'm not. I don't think of my ability. I don't want to do that. I don't want to exhaust myself, getting upset or getting frustrated or whatever. Um, and I think that people who like he was like, what did I said something to him. Um, yeah, I did. I made him rage quit. Early, he actually told me to KYS. I got him so heated. Amazing. Um, but yeah, I don't like that sort of like I'm a tough guy and I need people to know about it all the time because there's actually really nothing that I have to offer in life other than anger, frustration, and being a pissant. And so those kind of people are like, yeah, dude, get out of here. Yeah, yeah. But damn, if Zebo didn't piss him off, bro. I mean, he said he would curb stomp D Zebo. What'd you do, Zebo? I don't think I keep up with what goes on. Yeah, he said he was saying something about, and Jesse, don't worry about it, but he was like he said somebody in the Discord needs to be bullied. Yeah. But, I mean, listen, we're not going after height. Listen, we can't go after height because there's people in here who they're short kings and queens. We got short kings in here for show. Um, but I think with a shitty attitude, you know what I mean? Like now you're just a short shit king, I can't, you know, you feel bad for them and don't want to enable well, I'm not in high school anymore. Like your ability to hurt somebody's feelings, that's not strength. Being kind to somebody who pisses you off is sometimes more strength than anything else because doesn't that take restraint, which takes strength, letting out all your anger. I mean, I'm guilty of it too sometimes, but I'm not, you know, spilling out my guts with, hate and anger towards everybody who lives and breathes. Um, Remember that guy told the Discord was a Mongolian basket weaving Discord group? Yeah. I got punched square in the face about 3 times in my life, and every time they stopped in the tracks and didn't throw a second punch. That's because you got a hard ass head, dude. I can see it in your frontal. You know, you gotta instead of you have a protruding frontal lobe. Like almost like a one of those dinosaurs. Just fucking with you, dude. Sorry. Nah, but you look like you're ready to headbutt. I could see that. I actually don't even know.
I would. I'll throw a headbutt.
You said I'll throw a headbutt. This- can't I can't help it, dude. I see what DJ is talking about. No, I'm just kidding. Just joking. Yeah, yeah, dude. I said that. Yeah, and he said somebody in the Discord needed to be bullied because of their beliefs or whatever. Blah 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 blah. And I said, I literally said, you watched all your friends on Discord make something out of trading as you blew account after account and whined in your little creepy Disney cry because he goes to Disney World all the time and like just solos it, which I think is just mad creepy. But anyway, I was like, you deserve to be bullied for show. And then I was like, then you get, yeah, I was like, dude, if anybody deserves to be bullied, like that's you. But and then I said it's got to be hard. I said it's got to be hard going through life with a Roblox build. That was my favorite one. But Just reminding everyone that soon I'll be turning evil. I'll be turning evil soon, and it sucks, but it has to happen. Yeah, I think I saw that. Yo, I did repost that. Uh, I feel I don't know if this comes from the healthiest place, but uh, his frontal labia cortex. I was trying to do that clavicular thing because I saw that clip of fucking him talking about Sydney Sweeney, and she's like, "Yeah, her frontal something bone is very recessed and so she's talking about like a complex bone structure." I'm like, "Yeah, that's just that guy's got autism." Oh, Chad, did you make any short money today, dude? The long way? Oh fuck yeah! I'm 6'5" when I stand on my money. Yo, Jorge is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I feel. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I think USO is going to gap up, possibly. I don't think that we talk about how difficult, because I remember how difficult it was for me. I finally got kind of my feet underneath me with the bull market, but trading in a bear market it flips everything on its head. So it's like everything I've taught you, but in reverse. And it really does work like that. And I watched this shit. It's happening right now, like with the cues. Like it is. Look, the cues are starting to fall straight up. So like that's the top of my box. Like obviously in a bull market, typically you're going to bounce. You're going to bounce because sellers are above you. And in this case, people are every opportunity that we have, right, to go up. Look at this. Even on the 3 minute, every opportunity is thwarted and not you are again kind of like in the same way that we would in a bull market. You are moving up, you are building structure, you are retesting that structure and then continuing to move higher. And that to me is just speaking, it speaks volumes in terms of where strength is at now. Now selling in a bear market, everything moves down fast and then goes up slow. Well, you have the initial bounce, and then a lot of the times you'll squeeze retest, but oftentimes you'll also hit this kind of like slow wave sideways upwards action, and that makes it you can't even trade. I don't even try to trade that kind of stuff. So, um, yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, well, imagine when NVIDIA, because NVIDIA is the cues in slow motion, right? Same vibe, and in my humble opinion here, I don't see any way in hell NVIDIA holds these highs. I think 153 is a no-brainer on the downside. Maybe 148. Yeah, I gotta give it a month and a half. It's gonna be expensive, so I'm buying less contracts. Maybe 2 3 contracts, which sounds crazy, but it's like that's a point A to point B trade. If I get 2 contracts, one out at 159 and two out at 152. So, um, man, some people who've been watching me recently on TikTok really need to just go start their own page. Anyway, go ahead. What's up? Yeah, 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 and mhm. Yeah, I think that's not a bad setup at all. You got those before the end of the day?
Yeah.
Oh, look. Damn.
I'll be voting in- Yeah. Unless we hit that. Then break that before we go back. Cut it.
If you don't, dude, then I'm gonna send Neil after you. You don't want to see what Neil will do, dude. It'll be terrible. He'll make you hold those contracts. Oh my God, Burge, what are we doing here? Yo, Alex, what does that mean? You should have this audio into a podcast porter. Yeah, I know. I've been told this 1,000 times. I have anxiety. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, good job pulling the trigger on that one. So I mean, right now you have a suitable stop loss at 170.23. You do have empty space up there, but you have protection from reaching it. So now your target is 164.33 to the downside. Yeah. So were you in UNH today? How many of you sold UNH today prematurely? Who prematurely UNH'd? Just tell me. Just get it off your chest right now. Just say it. I need it. You prematurely UNH'd. All right, Spartan. Now, why do you think you did that? What caused that? Uh-huh. Okay. Wait, wait. Hold on. Wait, reverse. You said 911. You called the cops? Wait, is there a Oh my God, dude, I'm like, did you call the cops to I'm in a called the cops on the stock. The stock is stealing my money. Oh, that's too funny. Okay, so they were talking about going long.
I've been in stocks. But yeah, I was in calls. Remember when it gave us a feeling that it could possibly maybe the empty space that's there on the back. There was a little bit of that. But then I cut those out.
Yeah.
It was on its way down. I got in, I made money, and I got back in again sometime last week. But just the hold of the day.
So I hate when I prematurely UNH. It bothers my wife too. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine so. The first 2 years of my UNH were also pretty rough. So I guess yeah, anybody else, you know, eh, besides others' opinion, again, we look at yesterday's candle close, and you tell me what's bullish about that, right? There, that's the green candle that you would have needed to hold on to be bullish, right? That's it. I was watching the chart too much on a lower time frame. Damn. Damn. Yeah. So I think this morning, actually, if you go watch this back on TikTok. So, and I don't know if anybody in the Discord does this, but maybe you guys should go back and watch it. I never lost anything and I still got out. Oh, That's fear. Okay, Spartan, hear me out right now. I have that same fear all the time. You know what I do? And you know what I did? I literally said after it wicked up and it was kind of doing that weird, it started almost pulling itself back up again. You know what I said? Above the wick. I'm almost positive that's exactly what I said this morning. Wait, you can't watch these?
issue was that there were just too many positions that were going to be. That's the other. I didn't want to lose out of both when in any situation, in any position. So I was like, start putting like close out. I think I had 3 quarters. I had a couple of 3 quarters that I had. That was the other issue.
I'm looking at what time. I don't even know what the time. 9:27. Yeah, so this was shortly after the bell. There it is. Yeah, yes, exactly what you said. Definitely got burnt on UNH. Damn, guys. Well, I hope that when I say those things out loud, that people can kind of like, again, kind of look at what I'm doing and be like, all right, well, if homie's still in, and not to mention, this was also cost basis. With empty space, yes, up above you. You can't, so that is you front running something, that is you responding to something that isn't real. If you close a position before it even starts moving, or it's even red, or your stop loss has been triggered, you are being way too emotional, and you need, don't be sorry, just be better. That's all you need to do, is you need to like rationalize. I felt the fear, right? That candle's scary. That 5 minute candle right there, that's scary. Because what is my rule, right? When you lose something, you don't want to fucking, excuse my language, but you don't need to reclaim it. Or you don't want to if you're going red, right? But the good thing is usually a candle like this has to flip. You want to flip that candle. Obviously, it does not. It stays below your pre-market lows. And I mean, shit, you could have re-entered, but folks, my response, and this is something I take into real life too. Like I really have in the last 10 years seen change in how I handle stressful situations. I know that I'm wasting time sometimes. Like, yeah, your dog dies, you can't problem solve that. So be sad, feel those feels. But like sometimes our nervous system is reacting to stimuli, or even trying to front run, right? You're running or not problem solving, but you're running scenarios through your heads, through your head of all these different things, probabilities of what could happen. And now you have anxiety. Now you have fear because you've already thought that one candle just made you think 100 different things. So coming to a conclusion is key. Okay, we aren't going, like, actually, right here. Look over in the right-hand corner of the screen. And I think, yeah. God, is that what you guys are thinking of or hearing every morning? How do you deal with this shit? Oh, I don't like listening to myself back.
What's up, guys?
Just listening to myself moan.
What's going on? My third daughter, the back.
Oi, oi, oi.
Your daughter's birthday date party?
It was yesterday, but it's tomorrow, so we didn't really do anything major yesterday. So all 3 days are birthday day.
What's your birthday? Send him something too.
Oh, I dude, I meant to DM you, bro. I'm in a tragic situation right now, dude. I need you to send me 100 tamales in a freeze dryer, or in a not a freeze dryer, with liquid nitrogen to my house. MCH punch down. Yeah. Oh my god. The whippiness on UNH is what caused me to get out. So I'm like looking. I'm watching this right now. So right now? Can you tell me where you got out? Were you out like right here, or what was it? Were you already out by this time frame? Because this is 6 minutes after the bell. So what are you thinking right now? Those of you who got out.
I can't tell which is a real Potter talking.
I haven't said anything in a couple of minutes. Yeah, I'm weak. Oh yeah. No, I'm just trying to confuse you. I'm sorry. Yeah, come in. What's up, buddy? No. You can wait just 2 seconds, okay? Yes. I will come and fill up the pool. Yes. I need to come lay the tarps down. Coco, what have you been licking? What do you have that look on your face right now? What's up? That is okay. You're going to be patient, right? Patience is good. Goodbye. Love you. Freaking ventriloquist over here. Shut up.
Are you doing on your butter? You got butter.
I blew it this morning. One of them is still good. No, I took a position, dude. Actually, you'll hear me say it in just a minute. Yeah, because I think it was where it popped up, and I took a position. I was right. It went right to my target, dude. But I got everything that I was in, the Qs, IWM, Tesla, UNH finally was, yeah. Look at it breaking down right there. So everything was like moving, or I was having to manage it, and then I just forgot to set a stop loss. I will not make that fucking mistake again. No. Aruba, Jamaica. I won't. Me blowing my funded account made you feel like a real human. That's fucked. That's fucked, dude. Yeah, it was their fault. 100%, dude. Yeah. I needed that. I mean, I was helping me too, but it was your fault.
Would you get butter 50K or
I just got the 50Ks. Yeah. I've been trading the 30-second, dude. It's so much fun. I feel like I Okay, so you got out. Oh, I didn't have UNH right there. Yeah, right after preaching about stop losses. Yeah, right after that. It was pretty ironic. Granted, it's a paper trading, I guess in one way. What's up?
So yeah, so the things that help to the need of objective. And what I started to do was look at from a higher time frame down one urban levels that needed to be less. It's you're going down really rooms. Just in case we work with out, then one work with resistance levels. So like say I was at say and I think I entered at like the at the one day. Um,
Hold on. Hang on to your laptop, dude. It's about to take off. I heard that shit. I heard that shit. Go. He's got a gaming laptop. That's too funny. Go ahead, sorry.
So to your point, like we didn't lose anything, and we were bearish. Shouldn't have sold out, but
I got
I
it.
think with me at least, I think it was I just had too many positions open, and I just want to end the week with any red.
Yeah.
But again, I guess yeah, I think if I had one looked at my portfolio and seen what all positions I had open and what I needed to have lost for me to get out, I didn't think I don't think I had enough amount. So that was the other mistake I did.
Yeah.
I think I need to get into the habit of like pre-market, mark those levels out with the low, so that I don't get scared selling into like my levels are lost. So
Yeah.
try that next week.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I want to get TTI in here because he has a great speech on this element of once you have your stop loss in place and it's in between your stop loss and your target, you're in a state of not giving a fuck. And you're pretending almost in a way to not give a fuck. And you have to resist the urges to give a fuck because when should you give a fuck? Right? If you can obviously see a reversal, which again is typically always going to be triggered by breaking and holding on to something. And so even being able to establish like what needed to be broken, or just even on UNH this morning, I didn't see the cost basis, but I definitely saw the wick. And I just said, well, if that's our high, right, then I can assume there's a new high over it. And so I'm going to go ahead and call it at that point. And be doing that is a response to my fear, right? It's totally normal to feel it is normal to feel fear. And I think there's a misconception that like you're going numb, right? That you don't want to feel anything at all. We're okay. Well, that's not going to fucking work because I mean, it's a great way to be a psycho. Like again, these things translate. You trying to numb yourself or not be human is stupid. So having a well thought out plan, I'm in here, out there, right? Or even just knowing where your targets are, having done your top down analysis, you're also narrating. I know I'm yapping, and I actually think that part of the reason that people do better, right? When like people end up getting better, it's almost like once you find comfort under the wing, sometimes it's hard to leave. But and I've told people this before, like when I leave, people end up getting better. People end up actually making strides forward. I remember multiple vacations where I came back and people were knocking them out of the park or something clicked. And it makes perfect sense to me, right? I'm here. Yeah, sometimes my levels feel like so, super precise or, and it makes you want to make these really micro adjustments. But in reality, like most people just need to do it on their own. And while I'm narrating, you're listening. And listening and narrating, yeah, it's kind of hard, right? So when people are forced into a situation where my voice isn't narrating it for you, your voice is going to be the thing. You're going to have to, or you're going to do it naturally. And that's where, I mean, again, nobody signs off on my trades, right? And there was a lot of trades that I wish I could have had somebody sign off on them before I took them and got my ass whooped. But in reality, it was, yes, my ability to learn from that and be like, okay, well, obviously I need to be waiting for, X, Y, and Z in order to be able to take this. But I also, if I don't have a well thought out plan and I don't have, A, B, this is my stop loss, I'm also not going to be in a great emotional state to do these things. But you have to, there's a double-edged sword, right? With having help. And there's too much help, right? Then you be babied. Then you don't have, when you're actually put out there, you have anxiety. You don't know how to handle these situations because you're used to having me here or you're used to me. And that's one of the reasons that I don't like doing one-on-ones is I actually, and I'm not saying it hasn't helped people, but like I ended up having to like do the abandonment treatment on a couple of people because I was like, I feel like I'm holding you back. I've already told you everything you need to know, right? And now it's just you're like trying to be perfect, right? Rather than building the critical thinking skills and problem solving skills that are developed by putting yourself in difficult or situations where you have all the tools, but you still got to make something, you got to build something, right? So I give you the tools and then I leave, you're just laying there with a pile of tools. Until you pick it up, you start actually utilizing these things, trying to use them. And I know that everybody in here, if you've ever worked with your hands and shit, even if you haven't, right? It's like somebody can show you how to do something and it might not immediately make sense, unless you have relative knowledge, something close by. But it's like, a lot of those things may not make sense. But when you start doing it and you have, the room to fuck up, and this is having less risk, right? You have the ability to fuck up. That's what you're doing. You're learning, you're trying to figure out your way. And that's when you actually get good. That's when you build something of your own, or you find your own way to trade my strategy. You're a scalper, you're a day trader, you're a swing trader, you're selling options, right? Or you got a hybrid of something else that fits you, that feels right. But it's not, yeah, it's not going to happen if you're always listening to me. And so, like, anybody who teaches you and guides you should be trying to get you to, push you out of the nest. Not prematurely, because that's what they do to the weak ones. But when it's time, you know, you're trying to actually use this stuff. And, some people go on hiatuses and then they don't look at charts and then they come back and they kind of expect, things are going to change. But, when I go on my next vacation, which finally I left or I didn't leave and the market dumped while I was here. So that was kind of nice. But when I go on my next vacation, that's not time. That's the time for you to de-risk, take some shit off the table, especially if you know that you're not there yet, and to be learning, doing all things to learn from them, right? You're putting yourself in difficult situations, you're putting yourself in problem solving situations. Maybe you're taking a trade and then getting stopped out. And, again, there's ways to circumvent high risk. You can trade $5, $6 contracts out of the money on IWM and just practice the mechanism of getting into a trade. Where do you trade? I just use Top Step, but TradeStation is the real one. How do I hold on to contracts long enough? My emotion kills me every time. Stop looking at your P&L would be one. I get back down to this like mantra shit, and that's just what helps me. I'm kind of a nut, so it's like I'm going to talk to myself, and I'm also going to I do this shit to myself all the time. Like I'll get distracted and I'll be like, focus, 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 motherfucker. Like, like I have to. A while ago, years and years ago, I figured out like, we're like dogs. There's you can train your own brain. You do something long enough, it's just how it works. It's just how our brains work. Our brain takes the path of least resistance, which is the path that we typically go down, which is why life feels cyclical sometimes. And it's not until we're put into a difficult situation or a variable comes up and fucks up that cycle that you're pushed down a new path. That's why change is so hard. Because most people don't want to step outside of their comfort zone, so then nothing ever really happens, and then nothing ever really changes. Some of the worst things that ever happened to me ended up being like the best things because I was forced out of a comfort zone and forced out of like a place where I could, you know, be a lazy piece of shit. And I had to step up. So we run from pain and we run towards pleasure. That is fact. But actually, for me, pain is pleasure. So I run. No, I'm just kidding. I was about to. I was gonna. I was just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. uh, Scolding-ish. Yeah, they need to. Yeah. I mean, that's why, like, if life gets real cushy, and they've done experiments like this, utopias with like rats. It's like it becomes chaos. You know what I mean? Like anxiety, like the crazy, crazy things go down. So, need this on Spotify? Isn't there a way to take your? I don't know. Anybody in here host a podcast? You tell me. Oh, that's right. That's right. I need to get in there.
You too?
There was a relatively popular. They emailed me and now I just forgot. Yeah, they emailed me a while ago, and I kind of now I feel bad because I just remembered about it. But they definitely had asked me if I wanted to hop on their podcast. Where is it at? Podcast. Oh, that's so funny. Ivy, I've been paying for a podcast hosting website called Podbean for like 6 months. What the fuck, dude? I gotta get my shit together, bro. I gotta get my shit together. Can't help it, Poppy. You haven't, dude, who's buying all my cards? Bro, I'm like an eBay guy now. I'm gonna start selling everything on eBay. Yeah, somebody did send me one. I can't find it though. Yeah, those Barbies, by the way, dude, are supposed to be here in September. Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. There is actually a really good chance, man, that those are gonna be worth a lot of money. I'm gonna get mine graded. I'm gonna get the two. I'm gonna send them off to get graded, dude. I'm gonna be Dwight. Yeah, I'm gonna be Dwight. I'm gonna literally get rid of them. So I have a first edition Dark Gengar ungraded. Keep talking. Gengar is my favorite Pokemon. One of them, probably one of my favorites. Just a tubby little ghost. I love it. It's next to my Venusaur. That sounds like a body part in a different universe. Oh, my Venusaur is so slow. Sore. Sorry, I'm done. We gotta close the door. Am I wrong though? I feel like I'm wrong. All right. Well, think about what you've done this week. And I'm gonna figure out an option. All right, to obviously if I do this for everybody, or I make it an option for everybody, I'm not going to have any time and I don't want to do that. So, but I do want to figure out something where, if you do get to a point where you're starting to see, you're using your trade tracking app, that's where I can actually see what you've been doing. And I can, if you use the right trade tracking app that shows your chart, your trades on the chart, I can actually, it's so funny because I can actually almost tell what people were thinking in that scenario. Like, oh, I see a big wick. They didn't wait for the candle close. You know what I mean? Like that candle got drawn in and they got immediately reversed on. Like that's something you can actually see on the chart. So, I was going to swing oil, but I slept all day. Damn, son. You must have stayed up all night.
I had this with
I doubled down today. Not gonna even lie to you. I didn't double down. I always say that, but I like bought a few more contracts. I guess in my opinion, I doubled down on that. So, oh shit. All right. Oh my God. No. Oh no. Oh, I just fucked up so bad.
what?
I was supposed to ship this package out. Fuck. Fuck.
Let me open.
Ship by Friday. What happens if you don't ship it? Ah!
Isn't the post office open till like 5?
I don't. It's 4:52. What do you think I am? Fucking Hot Wheels? Paul Walker? Oh wait, hold on. Nope. Sorry. R.I.P. Yeah. What am I doing?
DoorDash.
DoorDash. Get out of here. Um.
Post office hours.
No, I was trying to think of where I live. Fuck. 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 5:30. Where? Hold on. Where's this one at? Hell no, dude. You're not getting through this spider web. You're not getting through that, dude. Look at that. That was a slave. Owens Thomas house. You could just tell. That actually, yeah, look, and slave quarters. They have that on Google.
You buy the label through eBay? Because I think if you
Yeah, I think
print
it.
the label, that counts.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Your package is partially covered. Cover your package. Wait, hold on. I didn't think about that. I should be saying shit sometimes. If anybody clips that, you are banned for fucking ever. UPS is 8 p.m. for me. What? Your name is Garrett Stump? A liberal city. Okay, I just got the label. Drop off details. Ship by Saturday, March 28th. Aha! We saved it. All right, we're good.
This one's going to banning anyway, right?
No, I already shipped that one out. Yeah, dude, I've made $1,000 off of my Pokemon cards. You know how much I spent? Guess how much I spent. Just guess. $4,000. So we're not even close. I'm No, I'm not giving them away. I'm trying to unload my position, dude, because when I get into things, I'm not gonna. I mean, I got things. I got room for improvement too. But like when I get into things, I get into things like I've got like basically a whole archery set, like, and I haven't shot it in like 2 weeks. Um, how does selling eBay work, brother? It is the easiest thing ever. You just take a picture of the card, graded or ungraded, and it creates the whole post for you, my boy. I do nothing. I mean, obviously you have to click like OK and make sure the details are good. But I go look at the average card and I undercut it by $10, and then I let the bid drop $10 under anything above $50. And so like I have, yeah, and then you can donate like a piece of the profit. But yeah, I mean, I sold right now. I got a couple bids going. I'm not gonna lie, dude. When I was a kid, I used to respond to offer. How do you respond to an offer? You received an offer of $35 for a Mewtwo V Star Ultra Rare Hollow PSA 10. And how do I do that? How do I say no? Why unloading position? Because I should have never done that. I think really I just have a painful reminder, of not being responsible. I got lost in the sauce. It was like meta for me.
Got too much money.
I did make a lot of money that month, like a lot, and sometimes I gotta act like I don't. I gotta act like I didn't make anything. But like I'll put money aside. I'll put in this, I'll put it some in here, some in there, and then I'll give myself spending money, and I'm tipping people $100, like to fucking yeah. Anytime I make a bag, I try to do that anyway. Actually, I always tip people pretty big. Wind Tech V-shape recovery FFS. What the fuck does that mean? Can somebody? No way. Is that mean that? Is that for real? Mean that?
FFS, yeah.
All right, these kids. I'm double checking you. Oh, you're totally right. Or facial feminization surgery.
Yeah, maybe that's what they were talking about.
Yeah. So you're looking for a V-shaped recovery for facial. I think it's gonna be a while, dude. Want to plan that maybe that for next year in March. I was kidding. Weekly level. Spy upside on Monday. I don't know. Yeah, what's up, dude?
Huge, bro. So you are looking for the 480, 490 levels before you even consider upside.
540 and 536 are areas that I would really. I don't see this island of volume as a formidable place to see price bounce. I just don't. I see a target of 553, and then I see possibly a week's worth, couple weeks worth of sideways action in here. Maybe honestly, if we pop up next week and we see 577 and come to a dead halt, and you see chopping going into the end of that week, I will reassume that short back down to 540. But yeah, I mean,
So the question I had was really, so that gap that's there between 284, 509, at some point in time, does that again figure or could we possibly go back up and never come back down because we gather whatever liquidity we needed to get back.
so, and this is where I'm going to get into my opinion. I don't see us recovering just because we hit. I mean, when we get to 535, we can look at what but I personally, man, I could see this being a pretty extended bear market. Um, and so it's all going. So anytime that I'm looking to buy, and there's going to be plenty of upside opportunities as we move down, as we hit major levels, but 540, right? We would just literally be assuming that, if unless they make new structure here, that 550, you'll bounce, hit this, and then shit'll get choppy, and then maybe you fill up a little gap, and then you fall back down, and this creates a new box. But that's not enough. You know what I mean? It would be like, okay, and this is what I trust will happen. right? Just like I trust that price will accumulate at the top, just like it'll accumulate at the bottom. I trust that before you're yeah, I can't emphasize this enough. Very rarely, right, do we I don't want to say not V shape because like you can see a V shape literally right here in an extended bull market. But with that being said, there will be a momentary sideways action. And if you look at this right on the weekly, it looks like it just shot right back up. But if you go to the 24-hour, you get well, yeah, you chop, but you get a sign, right? Sellers, when they are in control, right? Let's backtrack and see what they did, right? So price goes here, kind of builds a little range. You pop down, retest, pop down, retest, and then we sink into a new low and we create a box, right? Price pops back up and it tries to retest again, right? And this is actually a level across the floor. When that opportunity is given to them, price just flushes right back down. So when those levels that are above you get reclaimed, or we start building back on them like this, right? You pop up, you build. You might wick down, but you build and recover. And that shows that price people are willing to buy. You need buyers in an auction, right? To make the auction work. And if we don't see people accepting higher prices, then the auction's dead. And we have to go find those buyers or convince them with a what? Lower price. So just in oh my god. All right, all right. I gotta go what's up? Think of the new HP series. Oh, dude, the new Harry Potter series. I'm gonna withhold my opinions. Dude, damn, you got wait, what the fuck? Hold on a second. I'm taking a picture of this. I'm putting your cards on eBay right now. No, he said, "Hold up, I got you." Nah, I'm serious, dude. That you probably got a whole riggedy rack right there, my boy. Yeah, they gotta be worth it. Yeah, you want me to broker a deal for you, dude? I'll broker those. Okay, so from the image, the 1990 NBA Hoops Skybox Jordan. Those are mass-produced cards, not rare inserts or rookie. Most of these cards are $1 to $10 in value. Only big money if graded PSA 10. That would be worth $500. You got high end if they're super clean. These are awesome nostalgia pieces, but they are from the junk wax era, overprinted, so supply is huge. I am sorry. This was before Pokemon cards, dude. No, I didn't ask them to grade them. I just asked to see if they were worth anything. And that was a really good answer.
It's lying. Like those cards are worth like 5G each. Chat GPT's like, yeah, they're not worth anything.
It's just that's just life, right? That's life.
Worth anything.
Dude, I'm about to start going to estate sales because like dude, I remember a couple of people going to estate sales for like older folks and they have like their grandkids fucking Pokemon binders and I'm like, "Damn, dude." Or I've always thought it'd be fun to buy shipping or not shipping containers, but storage units, but I think that TV show that made it famous was rigged to make it seem like it's more profitable than it actually is. I just think that'd be fun going through. then you just abandon it. You just leave it there. Just be like, sorry, you gotta sell this. I guess you can sell it again. See ya.
All the shows are scripted.
That's what I thought, dude. They gotta be scripted, man. Make them look sweet.
Yeah, and then they plant stuff inside the unit. It's a sham.
It's because anyway, if you were the best way to do that would actually to be the shipping container owner, because as soon as somebody doesn't pay, you get to go through it, right? So they're the only those are the market makers of the storage container world. Damn, we just figured it out, guys. There's already too many storage units coming up everywhere around my house. It's freaking crazy. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I think I said that like 2 years ago. Yeah. You guys enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Peace.